everybody, welcome back to the channel. As you see, we're back in RoadCraft and be going after the Incommunicado map. I actually tried to run this last night and get this recording done, but ran into multiple complications. So I just reset my progress on it. I'm not sure how much that actually resets. I did get a new piece of equipment that I'll be showing you, or I may even be rebuying. I'll let it go through its little intro here. You can read that if you'd like to. A lot of trees on the ground in this terrain, or on this map. There's a lot of flooding. I don't think it's going to compare to Sunken, but definitely extremely muddy in places. That was some of the complications I was running into.
Connection unstable. Too much static. Tried switching to reserve band. No dice. Guess it's a relay problem. Reach the relay and investigate. I repeat, reach the relay and investigate. I move fast before it cuts completely. Do you read?
And that was just Kelly telling us pretty much what we already knew. As soon as she started transmitting, trying to talk to us, we knew, hey, there's a problem with the radio. Oh, that was a big hole. So, this there to our left is actually a road, apparently. But there is no way this truck's going to make it out through there. As you see, we struggle with just going through this. My truck could probably make it through there no problem in two-wheel drive. But this is a Ford. Or at least modeled after a Ford. We're actually going to go up here. And then we're going to come back out this way right here. We're going to head down there. Get our first waypoint knocked out. We're going to do a little bit of off-roading out here. Isn't that what this game is all about, though? Let's work my way around here. Really hate the camera control in this. That is my biggest complaint. You guys will probably hear me complain about it almost every video. I'm in the circle. There we go.
Hey! You're back on the air! I was worried for a hot minute there. So, I've been going through the list of damaged facilities, and you know what? It's one heck of a long list. And our list of assets is short. And by short, I mean it's just little old you. I'm sending you the to-do list now. That should keep you busy.
Alright, get over to objectives. We gotta restore power or functionality of the relay. Got a gas tanker over here. We're gonna have to run it all the way over here. So, not too bad.
Our relay can't do much without fuel, unfortunately. So, here's the plan. Deliver the semi-truck from the gas station to the relay. I hear no objections, so I consider the motion passed.
You hear no objections because this is a one-way conversation. And I just ran right off the edge of the road here. Hopefully she's got enough pull to get going again. There we go. Looks like we're good. This is one of the things I screwed up in the last attempt at recording this. I thought this went elsewhere, so I drove out into a muddy field with this thing and actually ended up having to recover back to the garage or back to the start point with it because there's just no way I was going to be able to get out from where I was at. I was actually hoping to knock most of that debris out of the way. Doesn't look like I was able to do so. Now this spot right through here gets a little dicey, if I remember correctly.
Well, that's the semi-truck squared away. And just so you know, You're starting to impress people over here. Even me.
Okay, I stand corrected. That wasn't one of the bad spots. Just kind of looked like it. Alright. Visit steel beams. That's going to be over there. We've got a road we actually have to repair to get over there to it. It's on the other side of a swamp, basically. And set up Highland Base. I believe that one we have to run a convoy for. Yeah. So I'll start plotting this real quick. But I'm going to have to go back and make some adjustments before I actually dispatch them. Actually, it looks like they'll make it through there just fine. We'll find out. I'll go ahead and have them run that route while I start working on getting the scout over there to clear some of that debris for them. Alright, let's run the scout back. Definitely not going to be able to 100% this map this episode. There's actually quite a bit. I believe it's 5 special items or collectible items in the map. I know where some of them are at, but it's going to take a specialized vehicle probably to get to them, or I'm going to have to build a road out to them. He made it through there no problem. I just want to push this trailer further out of the way. And there we go. He made it in. Our base is now completed. That's our garage.
Repairing the power substation and restoring the electricity supply would be a huge help. After all, you can't really do much without juice. But it's going to take some driving. This time, I'll ask you to take the truck loaded with steel beams from the relays yard to the power substation. For sure you can handle it. But please exercise a little caution. If the truck turns over, you'll be in a lot of trouble and a long way from help. By the by, we had a driver up and quit on us. Just not cut out for the job, I guess. Only 18 hours behind the wheel was enough to send him running. Didn't even deliver the truck of steel beams all the way. Left it next to the town church. Could you bring the truck to the garage? Would be a great help. And net you a nice bonus.
We gotta go, and I thought we were gonna unlock a different objective. So I was getting ready to park this truck, but I know about where this one's at. It is I'm believing it's a bit of a muddy drive. Yeah, right through here gets kind of soupy. But I know last night I actually managed to go around this with the cargo truck. At least around most of it. I don't remember if we have to actually get into the mud or not. But as you see, there's quite a bit of damage. There's trees all over the place that are down. The big trees, I haven't been able to break them or even push them out of the way. I tried to winch them. I tried using the dozer to push them out of the way. I'm still using the rusty dozer. Wrong turn. Yeah, so far all my equipment's rusty. And I don't know if you all saw that or not, but our cargo truck just spawned in and literally dropped out of the sky. We're just going to leave our scout there. We're going to run this back. I actually don't remember right off where this goes. Back to Highland Base, okay. Well, we also unlocked the stump grinder in this episode. Or not this episode, but on this map. And I'm wondering if the stump grinder can take out those big pieces of tree. And here we are coming up on our mountain base. Wasn't too bad of a drive getting over here. I clipped one tree and came to a screeching halt. Part of that was because I was trying to zoom back out, and the left stick controls your steering and the camera zoom. Alright, there we go. There's another one completed. Already up to 12 fuel.
Hey, You did a great job with that truck. So great, in fact, management just pushed all of the lever's tasks onto you. Isn't being popular great? Sometimes I hate this place with more passion than usual. At least it's not too bad for now. Just bring some more steel beams to the Highland base.
Let's go ahead and get, or first off, let's see if we kept it. Okay, we did. So I bought the Bowhead 330T. It was 65,000, I believe. And the reason I bought it, one, it's tracked. Two, it holds a lot more sand than our other dump truck. Being tracked is awesome because it can zero turn. That is a huge help, especially when you're trying to load sand in a small, tight area. But then it can also rotate a full 360 degrees here. So if you're wanting to dump sand off the side of the road to maybe widen it out or make like a parking area or a turnaround area, you now have that option. So that's a huge help. But being tracked is pretty awesome because it can go over a lot rougher terrain. And we just lost a little bit of sand there. A little bit dumped out while we kind of power slid. But there's a section of road that we need to repair. I just have to remember exactly where it is. I think it's down this road here. We're going to keep rolling that way. But yeah, we're going to go find that section of road and we're going to start pouring some sand in there. So there to our left, that's the steel pipes facility. And we need that unlocked so that we can deliver our 5 steel beams, or to at least help with that. Because I have not found any others on the map. And so far, between our current playthrough right now and what I did last night, this right here is the only place I've found to get there. Back up a little bit here. There we are. We're aimed pretty close. We're going to go ahead and open up our tipper. And I know that doesn't look like a lot more sand in comparison to what we were doing with the other truck. But when I go down here to the bottom of the hill and show you all how much or how long it takes for this thing to refill, you might see what I'm talking about. We're going to scoot down here to the bottom. It's right about this tree here where you can start filling at. So we're going to fill, and while it fills, we're going to whip with a zero turn real quick, pull ourselves in and around behind it, and we're going to start going again. And as you see, that thing is still filling. Just now finished filling. That holds a lot more sand than our other truck, or at least it takes a lot longer to fill up. But I'm going to keep working on filling this little hole in up here, and I'll be back with you as soon as I finish that. We'll probably actually be heading back up here with the dozer when I come back to talk to y'all. Alright folks, I went and back, grabbed the dozer. This is actually quite a bit sooner than what I'd planned on getting the dozer and bringing it up here. But my last dump of sand, I actually almost flipped off the side here. So we're going to go ahead and grab the dozer, come in here, flatten some sand, and try and make this a little bit smoother for our truck to come in here and dump sand. That way we don't run the risk of wrecking, because that's probably the biggest piece of equipment I have, and I would be forced to recover that back to the garage, which is something I don't want to do if I can avoid it. And as you see, we got quite a bit of progress made here. Now the road is falling away a little bit there, and that's one of the reasons why it's going to take a lot of sand to get this done. I've seen in some tips and tricks videos, if you think you have enough sand, double it. That is probably the truest statement about this game. Just if you think you have enough, go ahead and put down double what you have. I'm kind of becoming a firm believer that you can't have too much sand in this game. So we're going to keep dumping sand. And like I said, I was mainly wanting to level it off a little bit, make it a little bit smoother. That way we don't run the risk of dumping this thing. As you see, this is one of the things I really like about this. The problem is getting it in this position. As you see back there, I made a mess. And that's probably about half of our sand. And unfortunately, there's no way for me to really clean that up. I think we have enough sand. And I did follow my rule. I added even more. I made a couple more passes after I figured we had enough. So let's see if this makes a nice smooth transition to the other side for us. Actually, that's not bad. Got a couple narrow spots on it, but I think we might be able to smooth that out. So looking at it, it looks like I might have to add one more run of sand just to be safe. And actually, that side looks pretty good. We got a pretty nasty dip right there. We're going to come back here. We're going to get this big pile and try and push this big pile in. Big pile did not go nearly as far as I wanted it to. I also backed off of there because it kind of felt like we were about to start sliding there. Alright, still have a little dip there at the end. I'm going to make one more pass here with the dozer. And I think we're going to call this good. Like I said, in the future I may add a little bit more sand to this. At least before we pave it, if we end up paving it. But for me to get the paving equipment over here, I'm going to have to load it on trucks. Now, that's not bad. That'll do for what we need it to do for right now. We're going to go park this guy, set our blade position to marching. We're going to leave that equipment right there. We're going to go get our pickup. Our scout is way over here. So we're actually just going to recover this back to the garage and be just as quick to go to the recovery area. And I'll meet you guys over at the next objective. And a little drive across our little makeshift land bridge just to test it out. We are going to have to put some asphalt down on that, but like I said, we got to get a transport truck to bring the equipment over because it's not going to make the drive. Alright, here we are at our first location. This is the substation. We will get the trencher or the cable layer to come back in here. And our next stop is going to be up there at the steel mill. Here we go, coming into the steel mill.
This place got messed up pretty bad by the hurricane. We don't get those where I come from. So, I need you to go see exactly how bad we're talking here. Take a look around and report its current condition.
Come up the road here, get our other objective, and see what else it has for us. I actually got a little lost there. I thought I was going further. And that one's completed. Area revealed. Let's see what it revealed for us. Look at that. Quite a bit of the map is uncovered now. Alright, got to deliver welding gas tank to the relay. It's way over there. So we'll come back to our garage. There's our transport truck. That's the one we need. We need to get our crane truck out. And we're going to go and get that fuel tank and then head back over to the relay, drop it off, and see what we unlock from there. Alright, we just got into the neighborhood. Normally I would use my scout truck to find the welding tank, or basically the propane tank that it's talking about. But I actually did that last night, so I know where it's sitting. It's actually that tank right there. So we're going to back into it with the crane truck. I'm going to go back up almost straight to it. We need to drop our anchors. Spin around. That's all the reach we've got on the boom. So we're going to go ahead and hook it right there. Lift this thing up. And just slide it right into the bed of our truck. Look at that. Need to spin this way a little bit. I'm going to re-hook it here. Just shorten our cables a little bit, our lifting straps. Trying to get it centered up in the bed of our truck just a little bit better. There we go. All the straps are across it. Everything's good there. So we're going to toggle our anchors, fold our crane, and then we're going to head down to the relay. This location wasn't too bad getting into. I was able to skirt the worst of the mud. So it's actually fairly easy. And we're going to go back out a similar way to how we came in. I actually came in from over there, right above where our waypoint's marking at. We're going to actually go out over here. I believe it's less muddy. And I'll see you all at the relay if you want to meet me over there. Alright, we are coming up on the relay now. Got a little bit more work up here to do with the crane. I actually want to see something here before we actually commit too hard to doing it all with the crane. As you see, we've got a tank right there that's sitting in where our new tank needs to go. Let's get it out of the way. I wasn't expecting to ride up on top of it like that. There we go.
Nice work. That's enough gas to keep the welders at the relay happy.
And there we go. Welding relay is done. Now let's see about power real quick.
There's one thing this power substation and my office chair have in common. They've both seen better days.
And there we go. That one's completed.
Okay, the factory looks good to go for now. Once, you know, it has power. I'm sure you understand what needs to be done. But if we're doing it by the book, restore the power supply to the factory according to regulatory blah, blah, blah. You get the picture. So, here's the gist. Lay a cable from the power substation to the factory. And please don't get electrocuted. I don't need that on my report. Or my conscience.
Alright, sorry for cutting her off there. I thought she'd continue talking when I spawned in this vehicle. Just trying to get things, keep things moving here. But at least she finished talking after it came back. So I'm going to get this over to the substation and we'll get started from there. It's a bit of a dicey drive, but this thing handles it pretty much like a champ. So you all get to see that. Alright, here we come with our cable layer. Coming down to our little substation here. Let's get this thing activated. Activating it a little bit early, but it's fine. We will make do. I want to try and stay on the high ground with this as best we can. We don't have any roads running through this area. Got a fallen tree right here. We're going to crawl right over the top of it. We're going to swing around this one here. Take out that tree right there. Just so we don't get hung up on it here in a minute. Take out this one here for the same reasons. And over there to the right, that's the red marker. That's where it wants us to go. But anywhere in that circle, the game counts. So we're actually going to come over here. And we're going to come in between these two rocks here, right where this tree is. And I'm trying to stay out of all that water over there. That's going to be soupy, and that'd be the end of us probably. There we go.
Running. Great job. If we're to fix this whole area, we can never have too many materials. There's no point just sitting around while we wait for HQ to send us everything we need. Or for everything we need to just fall from the sky. Which, let's be honest, is more probable. I suggest you check out the steel pipes facility. It's close to the center of the operations area. If it's working, we'll be cutting out a lot of waiting time. Speaking of cutting out time, there's a stump mulcher that might be very helpful in clearing a path for you. It's in the truck's shack near the relay. Swing by there and pick it up.
We got our power ran here. And as you see, there was more direct routes I could have taken. But in the end, we got it taken care of. Let's go ahead and unlock the stump mulcher real quick because it's literally right here. And here it comes. That thing looks mean.
This factory isn't going to do us much good if it doesn't have any power. But all these tree stumps won't let you bring a power cable in. Aren't you glad you brought that mulcher? It's time to put it to good use, don't you think?
But as you see, this thing is pretty slow. But again, it's tracked, so it turns on a dime. Let's see if it'll tell us where we gotta go now. Okay, it's right over here. There's this path through here, and then we gotta lay cable from one of the substations. I'm not sure which one, or I'm assuming so because they were talking about laying more cable. They may be talking about coming off from here, come through here, and go up. Not sure yet. That's one we'll have to figure out, but I'm going to save that for the next episode. Hopefully we can get more of these objectives knocked out. There you go. We're sitting at 25% completed. So if we make the same progress, that's going to be 4 episodes for this one. We'll see how things go in the next episode. I'm going to wrap this one up right here. As always, I'll see you next time.